Welcome to Auvers-sur-Oise. This town is just rich with Van Gogh history. I could not wait to get here. First time, so you are coming with me. I'm not kidding you. There is a Van Gogh location here, and there is one to my right as well. And actually, the one to my right is a painting he did. First, we're gonna get to go inside. Very few people get to film in here, so I'm really pumped. And this is the Auberge Ravoux, a restaurant and inn, which is, yes, if you have seen any of those old pictures from the time Van Gogh stayed with innkeepers sitting outside, this exact location. And we are gonna go in the room where he and his brother stayed for those last few moments until Van Gogh finally passed away. We're gonna get to go experience that, which is gonna be surreal. So let's get moving and let's go inside. So tell us a little more just about the restaurant and the inn that we're in the room right now.
So the dining room here is important because when Van Gogh died, the church didn't allow to make a ceremony because Van Gogh was Protestant and he was killing himself, so the church didn't allow to make a ceremony. So they were bringing downstairs the coffin of Van Gogh on one of the tables.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, you even have the table that he sat at, to even some of the designs on the wall are unique to the time frame that he was here.
Yeah, nothing changed.
This is the chair and position that Van Gogh would take eating, and you can see the view is absolutely beautiful. So we'll definitely have to spin around and you can basically get the same perspective that he did. So another thing you should notice is this tablecloth. Almost kind of feels like canvas because apparently Van Gogh used it several times as a canvas because simply he ran out because he was moving so quickly and his brother couldn't get them sent here fast enough. So this looks exactly like the ones that Van Gogh used, which is amazing. We're going up to, this is the inn, and then of course to the room where Van Gogh stayed, and then after 2 days after he came back and hobbled in here, apparently went past the owner, no one noticed that he had shot himself and came in here.
French law at the time stated that if someone killed themselves in a room, it no longer could be rented. So this room has been unoccupied ever since.
70 square feet.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you walk in here, just to see, there's not much space at all.
No.
Just a simple chair. Like you said, you can imagine the bed here and his brother Theo just sitting there, and
You still have the chair because when Van Gogh killed himself, the neighbor, another Dutch painter, went up to Paris to pick up Theo. Theo arrived, and then the two brothers were sitting next to each other.
Just in here.
And for 30 hours. And then when Van Gogh died, next day they were putting the coffin downstairs in the dining room. It's an empty room.
But something to feel.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, we're gonna go around to as many locations that Van Gogh painted while living here. Literally right across the street from the inn that he stayed at is the town hall. Amazing, you literally just pan across here and you get to experience that painting for yourself. To give you some context of location, we are maybe like a 4-minute, not even that, walk from the inn where Van Gogh stayed. And now, check this out. This is like the quintessential, very incredible painting of an église or church. What's really cool for me is to see how he changed the colors and added different colors into the painting itself. And you even get to experience the bell. So that's pretty awesome. As you guessed it, yes, we walked out. We are in the middle of a wheat field, and a very famous wheat field at that, because this is, yes, the painting and the exact location where Van Gogh painted his famous Wheatfield painting. By far, I can remember just everything about this, how dark it is, and it's just one of the darkest paintings by far that he did. And you see with these birds in the background that almost looks like bats, and the sky is darker, and we can all speculate, perhaps he wasn't doing well, and yeah, of course, as we all know now, with all the things that he was suffering from, it could make sense. But also you have to remember that he was loving being here. He really was enjoying it and being at Dr. Gachet's house. I really want to give you some context because I think it's so misunderstood what actually happened out here and how far it was, because right out here is the same location where he shot himself. He came out with his paints and easels from what we understand. I know when I first heard that, I think there's no way he walked back. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But as you could hear the church bells in the background, you can even see some of the red roofs. It's not that far. It's maybe about 10, 12-minute walk, which obviously if you've shot yourself in the stomach, it was difficult, but he made it back, exhausted. Just imagining when we first got here, it's just dead silent. There's still nothing around but fields. And he was out here by himself which is kind of disturbing and just so sad, just knowing everything that he was accomplishing, and he was continuing to make paintings, and yet he just couldn't handle it. Moment of incredible depression. We are about another maybe 10-minute walk just outside of the town to the cemetery where Van Gogh is buried, his brother as well. And not a lot of people know that his brother didn't live that long at all after Van Gogh died in 1890. In fact, in 1891, a year later, his brother passed away. But one thing that's amazing is you see all of this ivy here. It was intentional that the ivy would be growing together since they were, they corresponded so much and they're brothers. So they put this ivy here for that purpose. And this ivy came from the house in the garden of Dr. Gachet. I hope as you've been able to walk through and see all of these different locations and all these different paintings and hear from so many different people that you have a better understanding of his life, and it's certainly a better understanding of it's just not that simple, right? He was sick and he was suffering, but I think a lot of people can align with being bipolar, and he had suffered from epilepsy. He just continued to work and inspire, which being out here is probably one of the most amazing places you can possibly come and see. So I hope you get the opportunity to visit Saint Remy, Arles, and all these locations we have been at, because they are, if you're a Van Gogh fan like me, there is nothing like being in the places that he walked, talked, and lived.